Wait, what?
What's up, guys? My name is Sheldon and joining us today is
Bulelani Goqwana, guys. Nice to meet you guys.
I was scrolling through my Facebook feed the other day when I saw a post by Bulelani regarding women in leadership, the fact that women should be in leadership. Immediately I thought this is a good opportunity just to talk about something which needs to be spoken about in today's society. Why do you think that women should be in leadership today?
Well, firstly, Sheldon, I feel like there's no better person who's equipped for the job of leading. For example, women have that maternal instinct. And now if a woman is leading a group of 100 people, every single individual in that group will be catered for because she feels that every single one of those people are her child and they'll get the same benefits and they'd rather sacrifice themselves than let any of those people suffer. And also, given the society that we live in today with all this rape culture and so on, men would never truly understand that struggle. And if we don't have women dealing with it, then nobody's going to deal with that struggle properly. And most of the issues that we're facing today, such as race and homophobia and so on, and gender equality, it's all an intersectional struggle. So now I feel that in helping change today's society, there's no better person equipped for the job than a woman.
Yeah, one thing which you said, which interests me, is that women have this maternal tendency. Now, you think about people in leadership. Leadership isn't something which is achieved overnight. It takes, in fact, many days, nights, hard work. You maybe look at people in their 30s or 40s reaching, leadership positions, you could say. Now, women around that age tend to want to have children. They start to ask themselves, I've invested this time into this business, where you could say, men are sometimes more status driven. Women want to be a mother, raise some children. Do you not think that in some way affects their leadership?
No, Sheldon. I feel from what I've seen basically is that most women in leadership would shy away from actually having their own family, and they usually treat their work or the people that they're leading as their own child. So they give their all. I mean, if you look at women who were part of the apartheid struggle, most of them actually had no children. And they basically made the revolution their child, and they internalized that. I mean, if you can't, it's impossible to dispute the fact that women aren't good enough for leadership when in this very country, during apartheid, you had a situation where all men went to exile or they joined the militant wings of the liberation movement, and you had women who had to stay at home and still provide, still march on the streets for past laws, and still raise kids. And those kids have been well raised and they are now hailed as today's leaders.
Sure.
So now we can already see that, hey, these people have this natural leadership instinct within them. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going wrong in today's society. They've been going wrong for many generations and many centuries because women have never been given the chance to lead.
Sure.
And now in places where women have actually been given the chance to lead, I mean, look at Merkel in Germany. And look at the society, the egalitarian society that Germany has. I mean, there's no place that is as equal as Switzerland and Germany. But guess what? They're led by women.
Yeah.
So
sure. We've been talking about maternal instincts. These are things which have to do with hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Now myself, I like to look at the science side of things, and I'm aware that testosterone, which is prohibited more in the male gene, men have more testosterone. Testosterone, in fact, is a hormone which helps individuals to make decisions in pressurized situations, to call shots. Do you in some way think that fact, combined with the fact that sometimes women are more open about the way they feel, about the emotions that they're experiencing. Do you think those in some way affect women in leadership?
Well, they could, Sheldon, but now, you see, when someone's in leadership and someone is a figurehead for something, that person is just the ultimate decision maker. That doesn't mean that they can't have a panel under them of people that advise them. Because now, when you're a leader leading a group of people, you need to take every single person into account.
Yes.
So now, you must have every single person from every demographic, from every walk of life, and then you must hear every single view, and you must listen to advice. And your job is just to say, this is what I feel. From what you've heard from all your advisors, this is what I feel would be best for everyone. And now, if you speak about that, that's what mothers do. I mean, for example, you have like a huge family, and now you have cousins here included, and there's like probably about 12 kids. And then now you have one kid saying, hey, I want ice cream. Oh no, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then you have a mother who says, okay, to make everybody happy, we're all going to compromise and everybody's going to have this. And then at the end of the day, everybody smiles. That's leadership.
That is. Personally, I believe that together we can achieve the best results. You need one person who thinks like a woman. In fact, the way women's brains are wired, they're just connected to so much. Like if you have to think of like circuitry, like if you mention this one thing, they'll start to think about that and that and that, and like you said, they'll start to think about how it affects every different person. Men, on the other hand, tend to think about one thing at a time and focus in on that thing. Together, I believe, this is my personal perspective, that we can achieve the greatest, results working together. Now, to end off, what do you think can be done to address the current situation of where we're at here in South Africa? What can we, on a personal level, do, and what do you think extrinsically, just even on a scale bigger than us, should be done to, progress the situation?
We need more institutions that are geared at taking care of women. We need more female lecturers, we need more female HODs, vice chancellors, CEOs, MECs, presidents, councillors, executive mayors. Everything must just be women.
Yes.
Even within the political parties themselves, those working committees and those executive committees should actually be made up mostly of women.
Yes.
Because now, if we have, let's say, for example, we have a political party that is in power, that has 100 members in its executive committee, and 60 of those members are males. And now you have that political party saying, we will fight for the women's liberation. What do women want to be liberated from? You don't even know. You can't even sympathize. So now we need to put women in those positions firstly to help society unlearn what they've already learned, and all these social norms that are not okay. To actually show us and direct us into the direction that we need to be moving in, to actually make society and regulations and provisions and statutes that are actually geared at protecting women, to engage people, and so we, even as men, can start talking to each other and start learning how to actually treat women. So I think that is the first step at
You were talking about politics and societies and executive members. I can just contribute one meaningful fact over here. Our university, Nelson Mandela University, has in fact produced the youngest parliament member yet, and she was a female, Khumela Butwa, member of the SRC. I think it was 2 years ago. SRC
2015. She actually did very well, which goes on to prove that women are great at leadership. I mean, she probably had one of the best run SRCs at NMMU. And secondly, her move from university politics into parliament says something. She's able to lead. And I think that is something that comes with women. I mean, you look at other prominent young women leaders, Nombin Kantra, who basically started the Fees Must Fall movement. Well, she didn't start the Fees Must Fall movement, but she was a very vital part of it.
Yes.
You have people like Naledi Chirwa, who are great leaders, and they are all young women. And now we have far less young men who are actually stepping up to the plate and are doing the exact same thing that these women are doing.
Yeah.
And I must admit that there aren't many of us who are actually doing that.
Yeah, well, from a statistical perspective, you are right. Just worldwide, there are more females than there are men. We don't know why this is, but there are more females than there are men. On that point, yes?
Isn't it the majority that's meant to, lead? So if there's more females, isn't it meant to be females?
Now that is an interesting perspective. I will wrap up this video. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I think about that, and then we'll wrap up this video. In some countries, it has in fact been employed that it is a minority that is, set up as the leadership of the country, simply because if you are the majority, you can get your vote to stay in leadership just by catering for the needs of the majority, whereas the minority would have to look at the needs of everyone and not only their kind. Now, yes, that is something that's very interesting, and we could talk about it for ages, really. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, for joining us here on today's video. I do look forward to more opportunities similar to this. I do appreciate the fact that you're learned and you have perspectives like this, and perspectives which we really need to be thinking about. So I want to encourage you guys, next time when considering the shortlist for whatever it is, the shortlist for employing someone or for just approaching someone for leadership on something, maybe give that girl a second look. And I don't mean for the wrong reasons, I mean for her leadership abilities, okay? Cool, thank you guys so much. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you think it's worthy of, showing someone, if you think you've got a friend who just gotta see this, well then share it. Sure guys, cheers.